How's it going, Sagittarius Community? Now you know who it is. It's Soul Tigress with a wonderful story for this wonderful frequency. First off, thank you so much for your time and your energy and your patience as I navigate the story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now keep in mind, I'm calling in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all the positive messages that are going to come out. With that being said, this channel is not Love Tarot. This channel is geared around self-empowerment. What that means is we're building the stepping stones to get aligned more with our soul being, which helps us align to a higher energy. So let's go ahead and get started with the vibe for the Sagittarius community. The lessons within the battles of life. Holding on for too long could wear on your health, charisma, happiness, and peace of mind. Finding your strength in one task at a time vibe. That means backing off, trying to do the most of everything and anything. What happens when we start to just focus on one task at a time instead of being so spread out, it's like we call back our energy in a sense, because every task that we do requires a piece of us, a piece of our attention, a piece of our time. Now, if you could take a plate full of things that you're juggling and be able just to have the one thing to focus on, then you're not going to feel so spread out. You're not going to feel so stressed. So remember that. Focusing on one thing at a time could help give you a little bit of a break. Let's keep moving. Helping bring yourself into the present. The magic is letting the divine lead the flow or this dance, trusting that it's all going to lead you into a place where you have never been before. And this could be mentally, this could be physically, this could be emotionally, this could be even spiritually. Remember, our mistakes are there to help teach us. They are the very stepping stones that help evolve us. Don't be hard on yourself for the path that you have walked. Without that path, you wouldn't be fighting for the very blessings that you have, the very blessings that you hold so dearly, the very blessings that you love. So keep that in mind, Sagittarius frequency, when you're reflecting back into the past and you're trying to calculate how you got here through all your mistakes. No. The mistakes help teach us. What you're doing is you're going back and you're looking at the past through a different version of yourself. And a lot of us do that. In our more evolved version, if we're really critical on ourselves, we'll highlight every mistake that we made. But we weren't this evolved version when we were making those mistakes. Again, those mistakes have taught you now what you need to do. It's taught you why you're fighting the battles that you're fighting for. It's taught you how to see things differently and not just want to stay in the same old thing of always having to fight for everything. So keep that in mind. If anything, look back on yourself and see how much pressure you have been under and how much you have accomplished being under that pressure of yourself all the time. That pressure that takes care of many things at once. Maybe that's why it's important just to focus on one task at a time kind of thing. Take off some of that load, some of that pressure to actually see what you have been creating this whole time, who you've been evolving into as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the Talisman Oracle. And right when I was dialing into this frequency, I could see a blue light. Usually blue I associate with divine. Your kinds of greens I'll associate with ancestors, purples, pinks I'll associate with angels. So with this deck, it always tells me that there is a divine eye on everything. So right away with the introduction, we got the divine here. So divine and universal energy, what is it that needs to come out for the Sagittarius frequency for this introduction? What is it? Alright, so we have a Sagittarius who feels like they don't have the willpower. Or maybe they don't know that they can operate in their free will. And they can be stubborn about it as well. Because we have a bull here. Bull-headed a lot of times means stubbornness. Sometimes we have to get stubborn in life, get fixed on something, because Taurus is a fixed energy as well. Taurus is saying is also I have. You have Venus here, talks about the things that we love, the things that we're passionate about. So maybe being okay with being stubborn. Maybe it's being stubborn with something that's coming apart to make room for something that's new in your life. Because I have the finding love in reverse. Alright, let's see what else needs to come out. Oh, yep. Then we have this lionfish that lands in reverse as well with navigating. Like I said, there is a sense where we have a Sagittarius in this story who is focusing a lot on this past and how this past got them to this point. But how can we see that this point is needed? Sometimes we need to be between a hard place and a rock to get out of there, to see that this isn't our ideal of pressure. Because somebody can only stay under pressure for so long. What else needs to come out? Oh my goodness, I've never had the cards fall like this before. If you've watched all the other previous stories, they have never fell out like this before. I don't know if the camera can see, but there's a card right here as well. So you're balancing. It's a big balance between cutting ties, when to let go, how to let go of it, and finally letting go of it. And financial security, where you're going to be after everything happens here. Whatever it is that's coming apart, whatever it is that's going to make room for the new. And with the new moon energy, it does talk about the ending of old cycle to prepare for a new. A lot of us think that a lot of times it's just the things that happen in our physical world that we can see where things change. But a lot of times the physical world and how we view that physical world, excuse me, I'm getting all tongue-tied, is a reflection of how we are viewing our inner world, our inner selves. So one of the things is there could be a new horizon that's going to come up for Sagittarius if they choose to get out of these canyons that they're stuck in. Stepping out, stepping up a different way. I mean, knowing when things come to full circle. Maybe it's come to full circle not only once, but maybe twice. Maybe this is a place, this kind of whatever's kind of coming apart here is somewhere that you've been before, Sagittarius. Could be with the same situation, could be with another situation that was just like it. But one of the biggest fears on your mind here is that financial security when you step out. That is a hard one. And now I get why the divine is here right away, because this comes down to a lot of what you believe. And if you go check out that new moon, full moon interpretation, new moon in Pisces, full moon in Virgo, we talk in depth a little bit more about the mythologies and the energies around this cycle. And Pisces saying is, I believe. Virgo saying is, I analyze. It talks about what we believe, but how we communicate with ourselves, how we think about things, how that will create anxieties within us, how it can also create blocks within us. How if we tell ourselves something over and over and over enough that we'll believe it. And that full moon in Virgo kind of like tells us that when we're going through all the harder times, to know that just to keep taking care of yourself, keep planting those new seeds, and you will still have your fruitations at the end, but you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And notice how I say yourself, Sagittarius, in this frequency. Notice how I didn't say anybody else around you. A lot of times what I speak to my clients is you have to take care of yourself first. If you take care of yourself first, that means you can show up for everyone else and everything at a full 100. All right, because I have a Sagittarius here who's very dedicated, who loves to give that 110% for the things that they absolutely love, the things that they're loyal to. And right here, when we get stressed, when we have too much that we're carrying, when we're balancing between all the tasks of life, everything that we've basically have put on these platters for ourselves, it drains us. It drains us so much that we actually start to operate in a low frequency, even with our thoughts and our thoughts about ourselves. Take time. The most important thing, Sagittarius, is you need to take at least 1 hour for yourself. And this isn't escaping out of the reality by using something that's a coping mechanism to deal with where you're at. Please keep in mind, coping mechanisms are not just drugs. They're anything that you can use to escape out of your reality, such as like binge watching a TV series, chain smoking cigarettes, having a really heavy addiction to caffeine, drugs, alcohol, of course, all that stuff as well. But it's all about escapism. And again, that Pisces energy talks about how they will use escapism and they will become obsessed with their insecurities. So this is why it's important that you take care of yourself. You at least take 1 hour out of your day, out of the whole 24 hours that are in the day. I know it seems impossible for a lot of us. It just means that you have to rearrange yourself or your day a little bit differently. And it does mean saying no to others when others are calling you to their beck and call. It's no, I need to do this for me. No, I need this break. It could be going out for an hour, going for a walk. It could be going and sitting in a plaza. The key is grounding yourself in it. So it needs to be an activity, again, that isn't escaping. So no shopping kind of thing. This is where you literally can sit there and just take care of yourself somehow. It could be giving yourself a pedicure, giving yourself a manicure, doing some exercises, doing some walking, doing some stretching. It could be doing some kind of creative expression, but it has to be one-on-one with yourself. I know a lot of times we want to include others, especially when we're stepping out of our comfort zone, but it's very important that this is one-on-one for yourself. Yourself is going to feel this, and it needs it right now. I would say it really needs it. You got to pick yourself up and see how strong you are, how much that you've been enduring. All right, so let's go last card, last two cards. Leadership. Taking the leadership on a wide range of things here will help you get to that success. I feel like it's that leadership of what we're talking about, taking better care of yourself. Putting your foot down when you need 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, I see an hour. You need at least 60 minutes. Putting your foot down when it comes to you taking that time. And not making any exceptions for anything else, whoever it is, whatever it is. If they can't handle it for an hour, they got to figure it out. They got to figure out. Now, if you're in charge of people or a baby, something that's really helpless that can't take care of themselves, then it's creating that hour in a structured time. It could be even when this baby's asleep. And that hour could come at the end of your day, or the hour could come at the very beginning of your day around, again, if it's a baby, somebody who can't take care of themselves, that you're still responsible, still finding that time for yourself. If you have to, break it up into 2 30-minute increments. But again, this taking care of yourself and making sure to take time out for yourself and lessening that load is what's needed, is what's going to help you grow a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get into this present. What is the present here that needs to come out? What needs to be expressed? Ancestors, spirit guides for the Sagittarius frequency. What is it that needs to come out? I have a Queen of Swords. I don't know if you really feel like this though. Sagittarius, you handle business, and this comes at cutting ties. You handle business. Do you know how smart you are? Do you really know how smart you are? Do you know really how much you have multitasked? How many things that you had to defeat to overcome to get to this point? I really feel like you just gotta feel how much that you've been working so hard. So hard through so much. So much, again, from that past until now. Don't be confused at that hard work that you've been putting in every day. Trying to be that good person. Showing up. Every day, rising up for that challenge. Every day, again, trying to do the most. Alright, what we're not seeing is the 9 of Wands. So we go 7 of Wands to the 9 of Wands here. Do you know what they say when you're trying to outrun something or you're running in track? Don't look back. Don't look back because it throws off your momentum. You gotta stop looking back. You gotta stop looking back because it's not taking you forward. That's what I'm getting. Don't be confused on it. Well, I look back because I'm seeing everything that I could be taking away, that is going to be taken away. Somehow you're feeling like you're being really constricted. Constricted with the things or the people around you. But the whole thing is everybody views the snake as like the snake in the grass. It's the one who is very deceptive. But they forget that the snake also represents, Scorpio energy. That's 8th house energy. That's a transformation through a relationship. So another way to translate this is you have to go through this transformation with whatever this is right now. This hardship that had you overspent. Maybe that could have you feeling very selfish right now is the very thing that's going to help you find that peace of mind. Help you see how much you've endured. Help you to find that voice of that willpower that you have. Let's see, what else needs to come out for the present? It's hard. It's always hard to start over again. Not knowing where those new beginnings will take you, and letting go of everything else that you've already built. Everything else that you've already had with this Four of Cups here. I mean, a lot of Four of Cups, they're down, they're looking for another opportunity. But you, because of this financial constraint, because you've always worked hard in this one direction, you're not sure again of the outcome. If you dump it all out and you start all over again, I mean, there could be a sense, because you're bringing it back to a Page of Swords, where you feel like you're naive. But there are other words for that: naive, amateur, novice, beginner. So, I mean, it could be you feel like naive, but you're just going back and you're starting at a beginning stage. But you're starting at a beginning stage in a new direction, on a new venture. Everyone has to start at the beginning start of things in order to progress to the middle or even to the end. What else needs to come out for the present? You reflect onto this past a lot because it has to do with fairness, with balance, with this Justice card here. And Libra energy, I believe, is also represented by Venus. And let me read this Venus. Shows much about how one relates and what one loves. Remember, we mentioned that with this Taurus energy. So now you have Venus coming out in a cardinal energy, beginning of new seasons, and you had it come out in a fixed energy, getting stubborn in one way. So the whole thing is, but you're reflected back. You could be wanting things to be fair, and you feel like the more you wait, the more you hang on, the more you beat yourself up in a sense, that maybe things will be fair. Maybe they'll work out fair. Maybe somebody will wake up and they'll see what else is going on. Somebody else will see that bigger picture. But I notice how this person has a coin and they have a sword in their hand. I feel like this fairness, this balance is going to come at your own expense, Libra, through your thoughts and through your groundedness, grounding yourself out, figuring out what you are passionate about, finding how those emotions are helping drive you to wanting to do something else, wanting to drive you to climb these stairs onto this new direction. What I see is a lot of going within yourself, talking within yourself, seeing who you are. And as we talk about charisma and stuff, we have this Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands would take the 9 of Wands to 10 of Wands here. We already have 7 here. A lot of times with Wands, I talk about charisma, passion, but I also talk about boundaries. And I feel like with this with this Ace of Wands coming out in a different sideways position, I really feel like if you can pick your head up and you can slow down the multitasking and spend that hour taking care of yourself, just 1 hour out of the day, you're gonna be signing into something new. A lot of times people don't know, but when you start investing in yourself, and I don't mean plastic surgeries and stuff like that, I mean your time, your energy, your love, you start to sign a new contract with yourself in a sense. And that is like a Three of Coins kind of contract, a collaboration with yourself on the different levels of yourself. Again, that mental, physical, emotional, spiritual kind of thing. And what ends up happening is you start to value yourself more. When you start to value yourself more, you start to up your standards on things, how people will treat you. Even the people that you consider like family, close friends and stuff like that, you will end up not accepting certain kind of behaviors. And again, with wands, I feel like sometimes they are boundaries. Again, here you're going to be signing a new thing with yourself that's going to create healthy boundaries for you to enforce, and you feeling like you have that right. Not just feeling like you have the right, but knowing you have the right to say what you will and what you won't put up with, and not doing anything in between or compromising on those boundaries. But again, it comes at taking that leadership. That leadership in wanting to care for yourself a little bit more while navigating this. Again, we have this nice investment, the Ace of Coins. All of this comes out at creating that new stability with yourself, sense of security, groundedness. I feel like that's a lot of root chakra right here. When the root chakra is out of balance, it's all whacked out. It's anxiety, it's insecurity, it's fear, it's restlessness. When it's in balance and it's going good, it's stability, it's groundedness, it's security, and it's vitality. All right, here we go. This will be the last card for this present. I have the Sun here. But somehow you're still stuck. You're stuck at the core. You've created an imbalance in yourself and how you view yourself. You still view yourself again as being young and naive, instead of being this smart, charismatic person who's been handling a lot in their kingdom. This person who's had to protect a lot of others in their kingdom. Again, taking care of yourself is a way of protecting yourself. It's time to show up in a different way, but it's for yourself, Sagittarius. Oh, dear Sagittarius. So I have What's the Tea Oracle for the block. I want to figure out what's going on here, what it is that's holding you up. Could there be another's opinion in here? I mean, we do have something that is kind of falling apart with the person, place, or thing. And Sagittarius at one time had found that as a good environment. Sometimes for Sagittarius energy, it can be very hard to navigate the emotions. It could be very hard to sit in one spot and just see what's going on. Again, it's hard to do that if you have so much on your plate, so many things that you're multitasking. All right, so angels of protection, please protect us as we navigate the block for the Sagittarius frequency. All right, what is it that needs to come out for this block? Oh. So we have obsessed lover that comes out right away in the block. This obsessed lover plays at the success lover plays at the Sagittarius feeling selfish. This obsessed lover plays into Sagittarius always having to look at the skeletons in the closet. This obsessed lover really makes it hard for Sagittarius to invest in anything else. They're always, again, looking down at Sagittarius. What Sagittarius is doing, what Sagittarius is trying to create. And then I have in reverse, love on the brain. Whatever this obsessed lover energy is, it's not operating out of a healthy heart chakra. A healthy heart chakra is love, compassion, harmony, emotional balance, and forgiveness. No, whoever this person, place, or thing is operating out of jealousy, bitterness, holding grudges, lack of empathy. So this person has a closed off, out of balance heart chakra. In other words, this person, excuse my language, doesn't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And this word obsessive, it's unhealthy. It is very, very unhealthy. This could have been somebody that really feels like you should care more about what they want from you. And the more you pull away from the situation, the more dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessive, and karmic-y it gets. Excuse me, I need a drink of water here. This person does not want me to bring up this. Oh my gosh. It's like, don't talk about my business. Well, it's coming out for a reason. You can't stop the angels. You can't stop the ancestors. You can't stop Sagittarius' guides. You cannot stop divine coming in. All right, so what I would say, Sagittarius, is go with your gut instinct, your intuition. Because this person situation is just doing everything and anything to keep you feeling one type of way. It could be a lot of pointing the finger. It could be a lot of sabotaging. But they don't want you to have even, I would get that. Remember I was telling you need that hour, you need time away. They don't want you to have that. But I really feel like it's putting your foot down and doing that. That is gonna bring on something. I can't say because I'm being given a big X. But what I'm being shown is like letting somebody feel the repercussions of their actions, in a sense. It's letting them sit by themselves and seeing how they pushed everyone out, how they've made it so toxic here. Whatever it is, this person, if they're trying to hold on to you so tightly, this tells me that this person has a big insecurity with being by themselves. They don't know how to sit by themselves. And that is kind of like a leech. Then I would say they're kind of like giving like a parasite kind of energy. Them being around you, even though they're making it toxic, is them feeding off of you. And what I get and what I heard is the divine doesn't want to see this happen to you anymore. The divine really wants you to put your foot down with this person. Remember, Sagittarius, I think in the last cycle of short stories that came out, it talked about the fire signs being teachers. I think even with Sagittarius's long story that came out last cycle, it was talking about your actions. Even though you're afraid of the repercussions for your community, your actions is what's going to teach your community. And one of the things that I always tell my parents who are my clients that come to me, when you start to step off into self-care, taking care of yourself and stuff like that, that is an example that you set for your children. They start to see that, and when they start to become adults, a lot of times they repeat our habits. So right here, again, you're going to lead an example, I feel like. And it may not be something that happens right away. It may take so many years for you to see how that example affects others. But it's definitely an example here. And it's having to confront. There's no other word for it. It's confronting what is trying to overpower you by you stepping into your willpower. By you saying, I'm not doing this, I'm cutting ties with this type of behavior. And being okay with letting the divine lead you. I know worrying about the coin, worrying about the money, that is something that's really big. But when they say when a door closes, there's always a window, another door, something else is opening up here. But in order to get to that something else that's opening up, you have to do that work. You have to be ready for it. Because still running around after this one ain't gonna leave you with any time for that new opportunity, that new thing, that new personal, spiritual, emotional, physical, mental involvement that could be needed to step through that door, that opportunity. What else needs to come out for the block? Oh, yeah. Clout hungry. Says anything, does anything, makes shit up, dramatic. Can I say it? Can I really say it? This tells me, and there we go. This person wants to kind of say they ain't shit. Or, yeah, they want to say they're the shit, they're everything, whatever, excuse me. But they're not shit. They're not shit. And before I even heard that, I wanted to call them a turd. I really did, asking if I could actually say that, and then it just happened to be shit right there. So this is a shitty person, shitty place, shitty behavior. This person just wants to have a shitty outcome with you, and they don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, sorry about that, but I don't like this energy. This energy is really upsetting me. This energy, I feel like they take their claws and they're like trying to hold on to. The more they try and hold, it's like the more they're scratching at you, the more they're injuring you. And they're trying to do it. They don't want you to have the success. They don't want you to take this leadership. They don't want you to let everything go. They don't want you to cut the ties. They don't want you to find this new emotional, mental stability. They don't want you to be strong within yourself about how you feel about things. All right, what else is coming out? Fake flexing. Acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, shows off. So this person is really playing the money card with you as well. Oh my gosh, I can't make this stuff up, how it's coming out. Maybe this is why you're having such financial insecurity about your financial security after this. Ooh, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. I'll take a detour, Sagittarius, and I'll tell you straight up. My kids' dad, my so-called baby daddy. I don't like to call him that because he wasn't really a dad until the last point, and then he wanted to introduce my daughter to marijuana. Like, he's not dad. That's not what dads do. Dads are progressive energy. Dads are protective energies. Dads want to teach their daughters not to bring on or put themselves in places where they could be harmed. And right here, you have an energy that's teaching the complete opposite. Maybe that's why I bring up that guy, is because he wanted to teach my daughter something totally opposite, which leaves her open and vulnerable to not succeeding in life, to having relationships with men that are toxic. And the reason why I left this person way back in the day, I didn't even know I was a week or 2 weeks pregnant with my son, and my daughter was just under a year. And I remember the buildup to me leaving this person, and this person, I kid you not, would tell me that I would never make it on my own as a single mother. That basically I wouldn't be anything. Nothing would come about it. I would struggle. I wouldn't be happy. Like, this person tried to solidify that I would fail. That I would fail and that I needed them in order to be a successful parent. Let me tell you right now, I just picked up a job where I work, and I'm not going to give you the exact amount, over $50. I work, I get over $50 per an hour. I don't have to work full time because I want to be a parent more. I had to struggle for a little bit. I had to figure it out for myself. There was a time where I worked 40 hours plus a week, and I couldn't provide like an up-to-date kind of residence. I couldn't provide that on my own on just 40 plus hours a week with a job that was under the table. So there were times when it was hard. But when I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went to school, I followed my intuition. I never thought of myself being in the career that I'm at now. I never thought of myself being in the state that I'm in now. If you want to be real with it, when I was a kid, a teenager, I did not like the state that I'm in right now. I didn't. I never saw myself in this state. I never saw myself in this career. So many years later, 17 years later, I am a successful single parent. I made it. I made it even though he told me I wasn't going to. I made it. And you want to know where that guy is at now? He lives at home with his mama. I don't know when the last time it is that he actually held a steady job. 3 years back, he owed me $10,000 in child support. And I forgave it all and I canceled it all. Because, again, our daughter wanted to move in with him. She didn't want to be under my supportive roof. She wanted less support. And she got that. But that's a different detour for a different story. The point is when you get somebody who's telling you you can't, that's because they're scared of being left alone. Left alone to sit in the hole that they frickin' dug. They frickin'. I'm not cussing, I said frickin'. I don't even know what that word, where it came from. But that's what it is. Again, they're trying to make you feel a certain type of way. I don't like this energy. I'll tell you what, until this day, I'm glad that I broke that engagement off. Because that person, that ex, that baby daddy would be living off of me. I would be the only one working. They wouldn't want to be doing anything. They'd want to still be doing their little drug thing, sitting there coming and going as they please, trying to sit there and make me feel less so that they can make themselves feel more. He was 7 years older than me. And it took me until recently till I was like, why the heck was this guy hanging around us? This dude was 7 years older than a lot of the friends around us. Why was he hanging out with us? He was hanging out with us because girls, when they're younger, a person when they're younger, they're more naive. They're easier to bullshit. Because right now, when I stepped into my 30s, this guy, my person, couldn't bullshit me as much. And then I hit a point in my life where I was like, I'm no longer even going to deal with it because I have that right and I'm going to use my willpower. So it's a big lesson here for you, Sagittarius, on how you step up for yourself, how you can believe in yourself, how you can take care of yourself. Don't feed into this clown. It's scary. It is scary. That financial part is really scary. But just believe, Sagittarius. Again, I never seen myself in the line of work that I am in. And like I say, I make over $50 an hour. But my biggest success was still finding a balance between my career, what I'm passionate about, and raising my kids. And I found that balance. It took work though. It took work. But I wouldn't be half the person I am if I didn't go on this journey. If I would have stood with this one, probably a good 90%, I would have ended up repeating a lot of generational curses that were plagued within my family. But because I followed my intuition, I followed my gut, and I did not listen to this one, I was able to break a lot of generational curses. And remember, Sagittarius, you are a trailblazer here too. You are leading a new example. Let's go last card. What is the last card for the block? Ooh. Same shit, different day. That's all this person's gonna give you. They ain't nothing. Their agenda is out to destroy anything and everything that's going to build you up. Just know that. That is their agenda. How long you are willing to endure it is up to you. Just follow your gut. Just follow your gut. When enough is enough, put your trust in the divine. Remember that introduction, the vibe, it's talking about letting the divine lead this dance for you. Trusting in the divine. Trusting in the flow of it. Trusting in yourself. How you got yourself here. The strength that it's taken for you to get to this point of being sick and tired of whatever this situation's bullshit is. Holy moly, that person frustrates me. This place frustrates me. This thing frustrates me. Oh my goodness. I believe in you. I believe in you. And if you don't know the outcome, like I said, my story is a perfect example. I'm not going to sit there and paint a picture of rainbows and a pot of gold at the very end. No, it took a lot of work. But I'm in a place that I know that once I get done raising my kids, or my son who's left, and I get done with this state, because it's really hard, it's really expensive here, that I can make it anywhere. I can make it anywhere on my own. One, I won't be raising kids for all of my life, and two, I don't have to be in this expensive place forever. Sometimes you just have to see how going through the bullshit for years and years and years has built up a resilience in you that you can make it in other places. You have the strength to, you have the smarts, you have the endurance to. You just have to believe in yourself. And don't believe anything this SOB is saying. Ooh, I don't like them. I don't like them. All right, so let's call in divine and universal energy. Let's lighten up the mood here. What are the positive messages for the conclusion for the Sagittarius frequency? What is it that you have to say? Well, when it comes on to this person, place, or thing, Magician and the Mirror. What I'm going to say with this one is you're not seeing how it's all a game. It's all tricks. It's an illusion that they're trying to create around you. This person, whoever it is, with their illusion that they're trying to create, they come in cold, they come in hot. They try and come in a little bit of in between, but it's too much. It's too much. Just know that this is a magician, and he's trying to work some tricks here. He's trying to make you see something that really is not there. Ooh. And when I say that isn't there, we have fall out is the third chakra, Archangel Chamu. Now let's see, third chakra. This person is working at this chakra. This chakra is all about confidence, personal power, joy, self-discipline, and motivation. Now the illusions that they're trying to create is trying to put you in an out of balance energy with it. And that out of balance energy is low self-esteem, lack of control, insecurity, and procrastination. This person could have a control issue too. This person could be over dominating, and they could want to have all the say so. It's kind of like it's their way or the highway kind of thing. There's no middle ground with this person, which makes sense because, again, they're working on some tricks. They're creating illusions for you. And this illusion is like to attack how you really view yourself in this situation. Again, this is why taking care of yourself is so important. Yeah, look at that. Deceit. Woman holding a coin. Again, that Queen of Coins in reverse. I'm going to tell you whatever this person is saying, because what it is they're going to go to money tactics here soon. Again, the financial tactics. I think you have an idea that's going to happen, but you don't know to what extent that this is going to happen. Whatever this is, this person is trying to bankrupt your very goal of even moving forward from this. The very goal of just letting things go, letting things fall apart, letting go of the old. What I get is like having a particular object and trying to keep gluing it back together. And now the glue's not really holding it because we've messed up the areas that we've glued. So now we're trying to tape it. We're trying to force this to be together, but it's broken. It's broken. It's time just to let it go, to make room for something else that we can bring in. And this person doesn't want it. This person doesn't want it. What other messages do you have? Ooh. Attachment. I feel like the biggest way to unattach yourself from this is, again, to start to take that hour for yourself. Figuring out how to do that. Turning the phone on silent. I see a lot with the phone when you take the hour for yourself. Because if this person isn't in your immediate environment, harassing you, messing with you, then they're in the digital environment, messing with you and harassing you. So when you start to take that hour, making sure not to feed into them still trying to hold you with their claws through the digital means. Put it on airplane mode for a bit. I'm not gonna lie, put it on airplane mode. Have your playlist downloaded, whatever. You let everybody know what's going on, and that's it. You take that hour for yourself. All right, so let's see. I have 2 more cards that need to come out. What are the last 2 cards? Last 1 card. All right. So this magician is trying to keep this door closed. Just know that. Just know that. I think your ancestors, your guides are very sick and tired of this one. I think this is why this is being put out here like that. And when I reflect back into their energy, I see like an angry mob behind me of just them being sick and tired of it for you too. So just know, if you keep harboring with this one, you keep always jumping up for this one, you're going to keep that door to your own personal value closed. Again, starting to make time for yourself is going to start to open that up. And remember, this person doesn't want you to get that. Remember, this person's working through deceit, attachments, karmic kind of stuff. They're doing anything and everything just to mess with you, to get a reaction, to derail you from you feeling any kind of confidence, personal power. Just remember, your reactions also feed their fire. It feeds them so much. So sometimes the biggest thing is not even reacting at all. The healer of the ages. You are allowed to do something different. You are allowed to take care of yourself. That's what's going to help bring balance. But that's also going to help balance something else out within you. Right here, you're dealing with a very toxic situation. And with this second chakra, one of the things the second chakra represents when it's in balance is healthy relationships. It's creativity, it's joy, it's passion. Out of balance, you got toxic relationships, fear of change. How can you see that staying in this situation with no action is the very thing that's depleting you at this point? It's depleting the idea of there being a healthy relationship out there for you. It is starting to take away the passions that you've had for things. Could have been hobbies. It could have been certain things, certain ideas, certain projects that you wanted to do. You want to do with others even. And now that you're in this toxic relationship, toxic situation, by the time you get a minute for yourself, you just want to shut down from the world. But you don't see how that keeps taking pieces from you. And then I have the Sun card. I feel like the biggest thing here is not staying stuck, but going out again, getting out, getting in the sun, really filling yourself out, feeling how you've felt so much, feeling that other things are possible for you. I know for Capricorn, they were suggested to go outside and observe Observe the rhythms of life. But I feel like for Sagittarius, it's to observe your very rhythm, who you are and what you've been bringing in and how you've been capable of doing so much for so long, and whatever this toxic situation is. Not many people can handle this for so long, but you have. That speaks about your resilience. That speaks about your strength. That speaks about your loyalty. That speaks about your dedication. Really, really, really fill out how much you've been dedicated to this, how much you've compromised to stay dedicated to it. And think about others around you. How many others could stomach something so much for so long? I'm going to say not many others. Not many others. There's a few others that are out there that could do it, but not many others. And you did it because you had other goals here. But again, this is a stepping stone for you. This relationship, this person, place, or thing is, like I said, it brings on this 12th house energy, this transformation through this relationship. If you stay here with whatever this is, then you let this energy win. Not only do you let this energy win with whoever is putting it out there, you let the karmic cycle continue when you were meant to get out of here, when you were meant to learn something else. All right. I believe in you, Sagittarius. You are amazing. Your strength is amazing. Your charisma is amazing. Your passions are amazing. Right here, you're going to learn how to take care of yourself. You're going to learn how to value yourself. You're going to create new standards for yourself. And again, this is the example you're going to lead for others. But if you do the work and you overcome the fear of whatever this financial insecurity is, you're going to make it to where you need to be. Again, it may take 17 years to open your eyes and actually see how far you came. I hope it doesn't. I hope you could do it every few years and be proud of yourself. You know, see how your life is just not ending with this point, that you still have so much opportunity, so many doors of opportunity to open up in the years to come, the months to come, the days to come. All right, this is going to conclude it, Sagittarius community. Thank you so much for hanging out. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming in and helping out with all the positive messages. And I hope you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.